Welcome back to another episode of the Hoodie and the Headband podcast show. It is your boy Bryce. I'm joined with my dog, my brother,
Tariq.
Tariq. It's a new week. I gotta ask you, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I thought I had a day off today, then I realized I had to do CPR,
Mm,
resuscitation, so
mm.
I only had to work. I went in for 3 hours, came back home, so I was really off today. I didn't really have to work today, but it's what it is. Can't complain. Ready for Thursday. Other than that, we chilling. We got a dub this Saturday or this past Saturday.
Sure, there we go.
Um, down to the wire again. We won by like five, something like that.
It's a,
I
it's a few teams.
We gave them our second best player. We kept our best player,
Mm,
but I had to lock him in. I was like, you know what, man? I said, you go here. So I had two players on the wings, on
hmm
the 3 point lines. I had two people on the free throw line or the black square. If
Yeah.
y'all know where the black square is, that's right outside the block. So then I was like, all right. So I told the girl, I was like, come set the screen because she sets really good screens. I said, come set the screen. And I told our point guard, I said, you either gonna come off the screen and they gonna double you, they gonna back up and you gonna get a layup, or they're not gonna be able to get off her screen, you're gonna get a layup. I said, either you gonna be open or she gonna be open. They scored 4 straight possessions in the fourth quarter.
Coaching,
Well,
man.
you talk about hype. I ran on the court every time. Every time they scored off it, I ran on the court. She scored twice, and I think he scored twice.
Mm.
And then he scored again off like a back screen. I said, "Oh my god, we saying back screens."
That man coach
Like, come
T.
on now.
That
I
man
was
coach
like,
T. Running the wall.
come on now. And then the other coach was like, man, whatever you told him, that shit worked. I said, I know. Talking about, man, this this basketball shit. I was looking at the kids on the bench. I'm like, this is a simple game. I promise you, basketball is a simple game.
1 + 1 = 2.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's not geometry, it's not algebra,
It's
ain't
not
no
pretty.
ain't no triangles, none of that shit, man.
No
You just
angles, no pie.
about getting the easiest way to put that ball in the basket.
Yeah.
You can get somebody off you and get you some space to get either you or somebody else a bucket. That's what we're gonna do. We scored like 12 points in the fourth quarter just off of screens and pick and roll. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, they 12, 13. They don't know how to guard that. They don't know
Mhm.
what a pick and roll is. I had to teach y'all what it was. So if I'm teaching y'all what it is, they don't know what it is. So they just gonna be like, she like, y'all don't know how to guard the pick and roll.
Wait,
No,
what
you
can
ain't.
you teach y'all? Who is y'all? The coaches?
No, I'm talking about the kids.
I'm
I'm talking
about
about
to
the kids.
say. I don't
Don't
know. See, this is why I
know.
got. This is why I need to pay attention. All right. As I pick up my phone, I said I need to pay attention.
Well, this next week is our last game of the season, so we're gonna end it on a dub. Um, but yeah, man, that's about it for me. How about you?
Can't complain, man. Maintaining, man. You know me, man. Living good, working good. Trying to get back to living right. Hit the gym today. Pushing that weight.
Must be nice.
I get right. Doggone summer is around the corner. It was a little warm today. Now I was thinking about hit the 60s, and I was just like, hit the 60s. It didn't get dark till like 6:30 either. I'm like, oh,
I don't know what it was. It was nice out here today too.
time of the year is coming back, baby. So trying to make sure I'm beach ready, outside ready, spring ready, summer ready, whatever. Gotta start now in the wintertime. What DJ Khaled say? Work on winter, shine on summer. Yeah, that's what I'm on. I'm
Work
working
on
on
shine.
shine on something. I'm a little late into the
We can
January,
to
but
take it to the head.
we still working.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been working. We just continue to work, working harder, working smarter. Um, yeah, ankle feeling better. Back to make content. Had to retire a pair of shoes today. Had to retire them LaMelos. Going back to the old school kicks, going back to the classics. It's like, you know, find a shooter I like. So this is my sneaker free agency period. But but yeah, man, can't complain really, dog. Well, no, I'll wait till we talk in our NBA episode about NBA news. But yeah, that's a cool weekend. All-Star weekend was all right. Um, it's peaceful. Peaceful weekend for
All
me.
right, all right is generous.
Yeah,
It was one good thing about All Star Saturday night,
yeah.
and even that had its negativity. So that knock knee motherfucker, that motherfucker that run and rub his knees together like a damn donkey from Shrek. That's the way that he was talking.
Yo,
Talking about I could be on Antarctica in a ice blizzard and still shoot the ball. Stop that shit, nigga. Stop it. You was I ain't gonna be too
bro, she
disrespectful.
had the same amount of points as the finalist scored to get to the finals. Same court, same shots. She scored 26, and then you had a four-way tie for 26 to get to the finals. And
And they
I
try to bullshit like, oh, she getting tired. She wasn't even halfway through the shit yet. She went 9 of 10. She missed two and it's like, oh, she getting tired.
gotta say, bro, she started off on fire. I'm like, oh yeah, Steph.
I was like, no way she about to do this shit again.
Steph got some. She got, hey. But
He
I think
lucky
Steph played it
some of
cool
the,
though.
he
I think
lucky
Steph knew how
some
much
of the,
he had to make. I think that's just a testament of how much of a master shooter Steph is.
yeah, because that
He
corner
got 29, and I
that
was like,
last
he got just
yeah
enough to beat her.
that last corner he had 21 and he hit every one.
Yeah, I
I was
was like, okay.
oh
I was like, he got there. I was like, yeah, he's locking in, bro. Like, yeah, no.
once he got to the wing, like the right wing, I said, yeah, it's a wrap. Because I think he had like 17 or 18. And I was like,
Yeah,
damn.
I mean, you just can't doubt stuff. That's the greatest shooter ever. But I mean, it was fun pulling for Sabrina. Like she
Shit
made
was
it.
heavy. If she'd have hit like two more of them damn, and they should have done a best of three, bro. How you
I
do a one?
know. Like they did
Do a one
one go around. Like
you gotta do a first round. You do a first round, the final round. So why you do a first round? Why you do a best of three?
I'm
Let
about
them
to
go to
say, bro, you do
twice.
a first round, and then like they had them shoot. Listen, what I hope would have happened is that they would have tied, and then they would have
That's
had to do a shootout.
that's exactly what I was hoping to happen.
Because I tweeted it right before Steph like finished off his round. I said, "Watch they tie."
I was hoping they did.
I was hoping. I was like, never mind. They didn't
Yeah.
tie.
Do you think that he was just trying to like take the shine back? I seen some people saying that he was trying to like she got 37. Everybody was talking about that, so he was trying to get like.
I mean, I feel like he just had to, I won't say stand on business there, but it's just like, you had to show that he's still him.
Did he though?
Not necessarily, but I mean, he's competitive.
I don't know. I see both
I
sides.
know
Like I
he was like, yo, I'm not about to let Sabrina win. Like, I'm about to make this
no,
competitive.
no, 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 no. That's not what I mean. I don't mean he should have let her win. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like he saw what she did. Now, granted, like obviously, you're a competitor and you want to see, like you want to test yourself against the best. But
Yeah.
then they wanted to take the shot. Like so, like now when people talk about her getting a 37, they'll also talk about well, Steph beat her in the 3-point shootout. So
I feel like all only misogynistic individuals would do that. I feel like everybody that knows ball, I don't know, the TL was really split. It's like everybody that knows ball, um, and is respectable about women's basketball had good things to say. Like it never be the ones that actually know ball or actually, you know, are good at basketball to that would talk trash.
I don't know.
So you mean to tell me the ones that know ball, the ones that are talking down on Sabrina? Because if they're talking down on Sabrina, they don't know ball.
Did you hear Kenny Smith?
It's Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith. I understand the NBA is sponsored by Hennessy. Kenny Smith probably got off a couple shots in Henny that night. That man was letting it fly. That man was letting it fly. Between that and his commentary in the damn dunk contest, talk about Jaime Jaquez.
The he said, "What's up with all this Mexican stuff?"
Yeah, I was like, yo, come on.
I'm like, yo, he wilding right now.
Oh man.
Like, oh man, he said, oh, that's so and so's jersey. And it's like, nah, bro, that's Terrence Clark jersey. He like, oh yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, beautiful tribute, but that was not a good dunk. Like, damn, nigga, let it live for a little bit. Jeez.
We'll
It-
talk
it-
about Jaylen Brown too. Cause I mean, like, I kind of honestly I felt the same, but just like the intentions were there. So I give the attention the intentions credit. You know, I
we
give the
about
effort
this.
credit. A+ for credit, but the
We
execution was poor.
we argued about this, and I told you he
I
was
know
not a creative.
execution was poor.
But I don't know. But I
But
don't.
like the creativity
No,
was
no,
like
no, 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 no. All that stuff you said last week about the judges.
yeah, and the judge gave Jacob
No, no,
Toppin
no,
damn
no,
48 or something.
no, 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 no. About Dwayne Wade as a judge.
Yeah.
What about these dudes? This last one, huh? How good
Who
were they?
was the one that gave Jacob Toppin like a low score? I forgot who it was.
How good were they? How good of judges were they?
Jacob Toppin should have got a 50. Jacob Toppin should have got a 50 for a second dunk for sure. Because that was tough.
How
Jacob
good of
Toppin got a
were
50
they?
for a second dunk. They basically gave Jaylen Brown a freebie to get to the damn finals. Um
Oh, I wonder why.
it should have been Jacob Toppin versus Matt McClung.
Was there some bias in there?
Maybe NBA bias.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I'm being for real. Like, yeah, the judges suck.
There. Yeah, that's what I was waiting on.
So much so that they were booing the judges' scores.
As they should have.
Yeah, because some of the dunks didn't deserve the scores that they did, or some of the dunks deserve higher scores than they did.
Oh, interesting.
I listen. I listen. This was on the judges.
Oh,
Saying where it started from, sir. I'm saying where it started from. My whole thing was where it started from. It started. It started from that point, and then it went on, and everybody started talking about the judges. They weren't really saying D Wade as a pinpoint, but I'm saying the talk about the judge. Nobody talked bad about the judges in the dunk contest till that year.
that's cap.
That's not cap.
They've always put old dudes in there, man.
Yes, they put the like they put Dr. J and Clyde Drexler
And then
and
they also put people
guys
that
that
can't.
have won dunk contest. They put
And then
them there. They know a
and they
thing or two about dunking a
they also
basketball.
put people that can't dunk.
Yeah, the occasional celebrity from time to time. Yeah,
Gary Payton can't dunk.
Gary Payne was giving
Was
out
he
bad
just the
scores
dunk
though.
or what he got?
Gary
What he
Payne was
got
not
done?
giving out bad scores though.
I didn't say he was. I'm just saying
Who was
they
the
put
who
people as
was the
judges.
guy? Who was the guy? Who was the other guy that gave out scores? It was I
I don't
know.
It was an old dude. I don't know his name.
I think they started with a D.
I already forgot it.
I just know it was Gary Payton. It was Fred
Jones.
Fred Jones used to play with Indiana and won the dunk contest against Jason Richardson, so I get that.
Hmm?
Um, Gary Payton.
You said him already.
I already said Gary Payton. Dominique Wilkins.
There you go. Them
And
weekend dunks.
it's two more. I get. I liked how he brought out the Dominique actor and gave him the ball. I saw where Jalen was going. I saw the creativity, but it was poorly executed. The D Brown tribute, like that man, don't do that ever again in your
No,
life.
no, no. We gotta say this for Thursday. We gotta say this for Thursday
All
because
right, man. All right, man. All right, man. I really would have. We really have a lot to say.
this man dad after.
That man did the Luke Cage.
All right. We gotta say this for Thursday.
All right, man. Anyways, man, we had
We might
other
have
than
to cut that
All
out
weekend. We
because
had some future WNBA All Stars in action this weekend. Um, I said future WNBA All Stars.
I see what you was doing. I was
And
confused.
now don't step on the transition, man. Come on now. You know I've been working with. You know I've been working. You know I'm a wordsmith, man. You know I'm nice with the pen. And I don't even
Word,
write things down.
a wordsmith is crazy.
Hall of Fame Hove did it all without a pen.
Because if I tell you to remember or pronounce somebody's name right, you can't.
Exactly.
So how are you a
I don't write
wordsmith?
things down. I'm a wordsmith though. I'm smooth with it. I'm poetic. Anyways, USC versus Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
Big game, Pac-12 game. USC took care of business though on the road, 58-50. Um, what stood out to you in this game? It's like
I,
you sitting there just like
I was waiting to see if he was gonna tell the people
tell people what
about your fumble.
about my fumble.
Yeah,
What did I fumble?
this game.
Oh, about the damn preview. See, I was just trying to skip past that. Like this is why I was trying to bring it up. Like I was just like I was trying to act like nothing happened.
It might be some Oregon State fans watching this, and they might have thought that they was gonna get one, and then they was like, "Hey, they only did one this week." You know, Oregon State was gonna make the show. This is gonna be their first appearance on the show, and now they like, damn. They said, "Fuck us." I'm like,
I've had a long, long week. This has been a long February. It's February 20th. Happy birthday, my brother. It's February
not you,
20th.
not you complaining that we having a long Black History Month.
It's been a long month.
It's supposed to be now. When y'all be mad when it's short. Now it's long and y'all mad too. Make up your mind. Do y'all want a
January
long
flew
month or a
by.
short
Listen,
month?
listen. January flew by. February is
No, it
dragging.
didn't. We talked about January being slow.
No. January flew by for me.
Because they got 31 days.
January flew by. Maybe because I took the whole first week of January to celebrate my birthday. So
How old are you?
25.
You took a whole week off to celebrate.
I didn't take a whole week off. By me,
You just said that.
I took 4 days off.
That's a long. That's a long time.
4 days.
4 days is damn near the whole week. What you mean?
I
If you
think I
do
deserve to take 4 days off to celebrate my 25th birthday, which is a milestone birthday. If you don't know,
why?
it's 25.
Okay, so it's 26 and 27 and 28 and
Oh,
29,
that
30.
was a milestone. Listen, you got 18. You got 16 milestone, 18 milestone, 21 milestone, 25 milestone, 30 milestone, and then it just goes on 30, 40, 50, 60.
Ugh.
Those are the milestone birthdays.
I
It's
mean, I guess.
one. I feel like milestone birthdays is 1, 5, 10, 13, 16, 18, 21, 25, 30, and then you got 40, 50, 60, 70,
Hmm.
80,
Interesting.
of course, 100, and so on. And so on. Anything after 100 is definitely a milestone. Maybe 65, because I mean, you get what, Social Security, I believe?
USC, Oregon State.
USC, Oregon State, man. This is where we clip it right here. USC, Oregon State. Um, Big Pac-12 matchup. We talked about this leading up to the matchup. There's some lost footage, but but yeah, there's a good big game for both teams. Interesting game for both teams. Um, Juju Watkins, boy, man, she dropped 30, but hey, this is a different kind of 30.
It's Bryce favorite kind of 30.
Exactly.
30 shots,
I'm a fan of basketball, baby.
32 shots to get
Listen,
30.
Juju Watkins is my favorite player in college basketball now. That cements it right there. She was already just phenomenal, but 6 for 32.
It's not good.
32 shots to get 18.
It's not good.
They got the dub though.
And I'm not gonna say it was because of her. Ray and Marshall was the reason they won that game.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Ray Marshall had 11 points, 17 rebounds. Big game for her.
Yeah, that boy had notes. He ready.
Come on, man.
No, I'm saying don't yell like you had him every week.
Yeah, I kind of slipped up a couple weeks. I ain't gonna lie. not as detailed as this week's notes, but hey, we're here. But yeah,
Oh yeah,
no, USC started off hot, not honestly hot, but they got off to a good start. They got off to a big lead, and then towards the end of the first half is when Oregon State started to, close the lead a little bit. Third quarter is when they really started to close the lead, and the fourth quarter is really pretty close to the end. Um, you had Tamia Gardner had 22 points, 9 rebounds.
we're high.
Yeah, Oregon State just really did a good job defensively throughout this game.
Both teams,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean, hey, it scores in the 50s.
It's a defensive masterclass.
Yeah.
What I wrote down on my notes. I just think that's just the defense, man.
Yeah.
Um, and I found it interesting. They said during the game that Oregon State's head coach, Scott Ruick,
Hmm.
uh, he said, and I mentioned last week when we were talking about Oregon State's defense that they don't force a lot of turnovers. Like they're very low in steals and they're very low in blocks, but they're top five in defensive field goal percentage, defensive 3-point field goal percentage. Um, he said that their defensive strategy is keep everything in front of you. Don't go for turnovers because the best teams at the end of the season don't turn the ball over. If you gamble, then you're in trouble. Not like you're in trouble with him, but you're in
Oh,
trouble. Like,
yeah. That's good advice right there. I'm not even gonna catch to you. That's coaching.
because you see a lot of teams are like, oh, we're high turnovers. We want to force turnovers. We want to create havoc.
Yeah.
This team is just like, no, we're gonna make you take really tough shots the entire game, and we're gonna find ways to create outside of that.
Yeah. Because
Now,
sure, it's fun getting buckets off transition and buckets in transition off turnovers. And you know that you control the game, you control the pace that way. But um no, that's just smart right there, Like you don't want to get killed on being, as my as my JV coach said, overzealous. That's the only reason why I know that damn word. But just gambling on everything and trying hard to like get cause turnovers or whatever, getting in foul trouble because that's the quickest way to get in foul trouble is reaching in. Um, that's a good game plan right there, bro. I like that. I like that a lot.
I do too. And I was wondering like what their thing was for their numbers to be so good, but their steals and blocks to be so low.
Yeah,
Uh,
the stuff that don't show up in the stat sheet, like altered shots and
Absolutely
yeah,
contested.
good tests. Yeah,
Um, yeah, I just think both teams kind of really struggled to get a rhythm. I think USC, them getting out on the run that they got on to start the game was huge.
yeah,
Um, because it took Oregon State so long to really uh, find their footing and to get back into the game, and they were never able to really cut it super close. Like they were in the game the whole game, but they were never able to like really get on a run and really get the crowd like way involved. Um, and I think some of that can be attributed to not having Reagan Beers.
yeah,
Some of that can be attributed to they just had a huge win over UCLA that Friday that we'll talk about, which I think might have been the game of the year. Um, but like you're coming off that high of a win and you're playing a team like USC that doesn't make anything easy. So, you come out a little what's the word? A little less focused than you normally would, and then you get off to a slow start, and then that slow start just kind of sticks with you throughout the game. Uh, they weren't hitting the threes like they typically do,
hmm
so they kind of struggled to get it going. They didn't really have anybody in the post that they could go to, especially in the first half. Smith Gardner stepped up big time in the second half with 22 points, but
hmm
other than that, they weren't able to really get anyone comfortable scoring. And you can say the same for USC. That Mackenzie Flores was able to get some very timely buckets. Um, Caleb Padilla got some timely shots, and even though Juju was 6 of 32, they were still very needed points. To even when she was getting to the free throw line, just slowing down the game and just slowing down everything and making sure that the other team had to play in half court is big. So I think this game was just both teams and coaches just showing the way that they can lock down other top teams in the country, and both these teams are going to be hard to beat in March. So,
Yep.
good luck. Good luck, because if these teams are shooting the three ball well, especially Oregon State, if they're shooting the three ball well and forcing you to shoot sub 40%, yeah, you might as well go ahead and pack your bags, because I don't think you're gonna win that game. Especially they get Reagan Beers back somewhat soon. They said she's day to day with the face injury, so hopefully it's not too long of an absence, and she can come back, because they got some big games. I mean, they were able to get past that big stretch, but they still got a lot to take care of over the next month or so. So we'll see how that goes. But I think that game against UCLA was insane. I mean, absolutely. Pac-12 Fridays, nothing else like it. Like
Nothing like it, man.
ACC Sundays, cool. Like they have some good games. SEC games on what is it? They
Sunday.
play Sundays, and
Is it Tuesdays?
is it Tuesdays?
Tuesday or Thursday? No, it gotta be Thursday because that's Thursday was SC was South Carolina shoe game. That was on a Thursday.
And I think Big 12 is like Wednesday and Saturday or something like that. But man, Pac-12 Fridays, and it's like because they're so late, like you gotta stay up, and you're like, man, these is hard to stay up for. But then the game starts, and you're like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm locked in. So it's like, hey, if you can get to 10 o'clock, you good. But you got to get
first. It's a Friday. We should going to sleep early on a Friday for anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, some people be tired, man. What you mean?
Not for that, but I'm always the type to stay up on a Friday.
Work with kids all week and tell me how you feel Friday night. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'd be tired, all right? But I powered through. I powered through so I could watch this game, and I'm glad I did. Because not only did this game end in a buzzer beater, so did Utah Colorado right before this game. I mean,
best conference in the nation. I'm ready to say it. Best conference in the nation.
Daisy Young hit a buzzer beater against Colorado, even though Utah was trying to get that game away. I mean, golly. I mean, you can't do much.
Yeah. I remember now.
Can't do much more than they was trying to do. Like, they turned the ball over 3 times in the last minute, 30 seconds. Yeah. And really, it was less than that. It was like in like a 37, 38-second span. And it wasn't even like, oh, we throw the ball back. Like, no, they was getting ripped. They was getting across half court, still layup. I'm like,
insane.
Then they fouling. So they give up a steal. Frida Foreman gets a layup. They go up. Then Vieta makes 2 free throws. They go back up. Then Vonleh makes a layup. And then Deji Young comes down and gets a shot at the buzzer. That was a crazy ending. But UCLA and Oregon State, I mean, just back and forth the whole game. I thought they might struggle once Reagan Beers went out in the second quarter. They stayed afloat. They did more than stay afloat. They stayed in it. To me, Gardner stepped up. Talia von Oelhoffen was huge. And then the last 3 minutes, the last 10 seconds, 4 different shots that could have won the game. Dugalich made a 3 to go up 1. Talia made a layup. Then Betts answered with a jumper, which her shooting a midi, like it was almost a 3-point shot. Like it wasn't just like, free throw line. Like she was a couple steps behind the free throw line. That jump was money. And I was like, oh, she got that shot in her arsenal. I was like, please, 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 for the rest of the country, do not, do not allow Lauren Best to be able to step out and shoot that three because she can step out and shoot that three. Oh my goodness, it's a wrap. Um, and then obviously Talia Vaughn often ended it with a three at the buzzer. Some very cold edits from Oregon State's content team. Um, Talia's her celebration was hilarious because at first she was just like, "Yeah, I'm real calm. I'm gonna just put up the three, and I'm gonna just walk off like this was nothing." And then she realized what happened, and she just got super hyped. Um, and then she was very emotional in the post game, talking about how like her comeback and things like that. Like she had got injured, um, and she wasn't sure she wanted to play basketball again. She thought about walking away a couple of times. She stayed with it. She talked about how her teammates and her coaches stayed by her side, um, and that led to her deciding to keep playing. And then when you keep playing, you get moments like that.
I really gotta stop being on a TL whenever we're recording.
What was I talking about? You got me feeling like a teacher in class.
I know.
What was I just saying?
This is bad.
And he just said 3 minutes ago that he got to lock in. He got to pay attention. And I'm talking about somebody's story, and he over here on the TL.
Smirking, giggling.
But anyways, like I was saying, Talia was talking about her her perseverance and how she had to fight back from injuries and things like that. Um, and how her teammates and her coaches stuck by her side so that when moments like this happen, it means that much more. Um, and this is what college sports is all about, honestly. It's like seeing these players go through, um, adversity. I mean, she's played 4 seasons. Technically, even though she's listed as a junior, um, she's played, in big games before. She's been one of the best players on the team before, if not the best player on the team. And then, you go through injuries and you doubt yourself and you think back to, where you were and can you get back to that? And then you see, the fruits of your labor. You see your team, go on an 8-game run and you're winning a lot of games in your conference and you're 21-4 and just, you know, she also talked about how, um, how the crowd was packed to the rafters, and she was talking about how she had been waiting so long, or like that's the reason she had came there, and it took longer than she expected, but um, it made it all worth it. And I think stuff like that is like the things that make college basketball what it is, college sports what it is. It's just seeing, young teenagers have to go through all these things, and we watch, and sometimes we forget that these are teenagers. These sometimes 18, 19, 20-year olds, sometimes 21, 22-year olds. And at that age, everyone, and even 23, 24 people are still trying to figure out who they are and what they want to do. And in such a stressful, I don't want to say job, but like the responsibility they have as college athletes and student athletes is enormous. And I think unless you're in it, you don't really understand it. And for her to fight back and persevere the way she has been super, 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 super impressive to watch. And I can't wait to see what they continue to do the rest of the season, and what they do in March, because I think they're a team that has all the capabilities of really making some teams. I think they get upset a couple of teams depending on what their seeding ends up being. They play Washington State and Washington the next couple of games. So, I mean, no disrespect. I mean, with Charlize Ledger Walker getting hurt, I think that kind of definitely threw a wrench in Washington State's season. And then Washington is not a bad team, but they haven't had the best last couple of weeks. So um, they should win three of their last four. They play Stanford in that stretch, so that'll be a big game for them. See how that goes, and then they'll go into conference tournament play, which that conference tournament is going to be freaking madness, and I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. But shout out to Oregon State. Shout out to UCLA. That was a fantastic game. Uh, might be may very well have been the game of the year for me. Honestly, might have been the game of the year because it had everything. It had everything. Um, but yeah, and then Juju had a 30 ball against Oregon that same night. Just Pac-12 Fridays, man. Just
Yeah.
they do what they do. Um, let's see.
I know we talked about Paige returning, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Paige announced this past weekend that she's returning. I know we did a emergency pause past weekend.
Jersey over there. I ain't gonna get
Um, yeah, that opens a lot of things up.
it.
It's just huge for UConn and just her herself. She ain't done. She ain't finished. I mean, she's only played 3 seasons. She's technically a junior. So
Yeah. Aubrey Griffin is coming back as well.
nice.
Nika Mule and Aaliyah Edwards have not um, said which one they're doing yet. So, hey, they could be all coming back.
Could be a good chance they run it all. They run it back. But yeah.
But we've seen, um, you know, we've seen players, not go in when they've had the chance, and that kind of throw them off. Like Aaliyah Edwards, probably be a top 5 pick if she goes in.
Yeah.
Not saying it won't be next year, but I don't know if you necessarily want to. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I
Um,
just feel like you just gotta go ahead and take that chance, bro. Like I think of Celeste Taylor. She was projected to be a first round pick last year, coming off of a great tournament performance where she almost had a damn quad dub.
she
Um,
I
and then, I
still
mean, I'm not saying she had a bad year this year and saying that she won't get drafted this year, but I'm just saying it was, she projected first round. You project the first round, bro. Go ahead. The piece.
well, she might be a first round pick again this year, especially with Paige
Yeah.
not going in. That opens up another spot in the first round, and that opens up a guard spot.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
the
you were
thing,
right. I thought Paige would have been taken third in this
yeah,
draft.
it was like Caitlin Page and then JC Sheldon, like the three of the guards in the first round. So if you take out, you take out a guard, and this guy did trade, not this guy, yeah, this guy did trade for the eighth pick today.
Yep.
Uh,
Sky rebuild mode.
so we'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I think Celeste could still end up being a first round pick,
Yeah.
especially because there's still some players that can stay back. So we'll see what happens.
Let's see. Sticking on the topic of UConn, shout out to Geno Ariema who just passed Coach K Mike Krzyzewski in all-time Division I basketball wins with their latest win over. I threw my phone across the room.
Was it today?
Yeah,
We played Creighton.
over Creighton. He now has what 1,203 wins. I think I saw in the ESPN ticker.
Yep.
Yeah, I see it now. They beat Creighton 73-53 on a 17-0 run.
I was gonna say, which is crazy because when I was in, when I got into, when I went into CPR, I looked at the score. When I was watching when I left, when I got to my job and looked, it was 32 to 32 at halftime.
Uh-huh.
By the time I got out and checked the score, I mean the game was way over by then. It was a 3 hour thing, but by the
Yeah.
time I got out, we won by 20. I'm like, we outscored them that bad in the second half. That's crazy. I was
17
like,
over runner in the game.
that's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, now has 1,203. I mean, we all knew that was gonna come in because I remember we looked at the
Yeah,
win totals whenever Tar Vanderveer got the whatchamacallit, got the record a couple weeks back and saw that Geno wasn't too far behind her. So yeah.
yeah. Like six head. She's 6 wins ahead of him. I think she's got 9 to his 3.
Mm.
So he would need like them to go on a crazy losing streak and them to go on a winning streak for him to pass her. So
Shoot.
they gonna be they just gonna be looking at each
Stanford
other.
lose first round of the Pac-12 tournament and then them winning the Big East tournament and then
Well, they would only have to play like
further
two
than
games. Like
Stanford in the NCAA tournament.
they get with like a double bye, so they really only win like 2 games in the Big East tournament. Um, yeah, it would have to be something wild for them to pass them this year. I don't
Mm.
see that. They just got to watch each other and be like, who's gonna retire first?
Yeah. No, I saw a tweet today.
I want
Um, it was a Jewel Lloyd, Asia Wilson stare down,
to see that.
and it was like Gino and Tara looking at each other, seeing who would retire first.
Actually, that was the funniest moment from All Star Weekend.
All Star.
Yes,
Tyler Bailey made a video with that Money Long song.
her
Twin,
her name is Money Long.
where have you been? Or Mooney Long. I don't know. It's MUNILONG.
I thought it was Mooney, but Money kind of fire actually.
I say money long.
Cause
I don't know.
her
That's what rappers say, like, yo, my money long, like whatever.
Yeah, but her name that don't mean that's her name.
I don't know. I don't think I ever heard anybody say Mooney long.
I ain't never heard nobody say Money Long either.
Anyway.
Actually, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say her name. I think they just say the song.
Well, I listen to podcasts and stuff, and so they like because this isn't like her first viral song, you know.
Yeah, what, Hours and Hours or something like that?
In a time machine joint. Hee Yes, I had a time machine.
Oh, I,
Wish I had a time machine. You don't be on TikTok.
that's not what I was talking. I was talking about the
But the hours and hours, yeah. Yours, yours, us, us, us.
what?
You get your flowers. Anyways, man, South Carolina, Georgia was pretty tough in the first half. They got us in the first half, not gonna lie.
They had you in the first half.
Uh, I didn't even catch the game live. I was out, after church, lunch, whatever. I look at TL. Everybody's like, "Yo, Georgia ain't playing around." I'm looking like, "Oh," I tuned in a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, I see first half Georgia up,"
Hey,
but
Jay,
never no doubt, man. South Carolina do what they do. They go on that run, and you can't come back from it. Camilla first game back, 16-16,
17-2 run in the fourth quarter. They was like, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
crazy.
They was like,
Tahini,
they said it was college game day. We didn't want it to be a blowout. They brought all these people out here. They brought all these people in to watch. So let's,
plus
let's
Georgia
a
ain't
little
too far, so you know them Georgia people travel.
let's give them a little game before we just
Yeah,
run it.
yeah, no. But South Carolina got a squad, bro. Like I mentioned just now, Camila Cardozo, 16-16, first game back from being with Team Brazil.
Second game back.
Huh?
There's a second game back.
Oh, second game back. My
Yeah,
my
they played Tennessee on Thursday
That is a fact. That is a fact. I remember I watched that game too. I don't know why I said that. But
because Rakia was tied.
yeah. That
He like
picture of Ricky on the ground was so tough. Where I
he
had
looked
through
like
the basket.
somebody help me. Like I need some help. That's what her face said.
Yo.
Help, please.
Nah. Tahina Pow Pow. One on ones. Okay, sir.
Every time she shoot, pow, pow, pow. That's what I be hearing. That's what I be here doing. Every time she shoot a three and that shit going, pow. When I tweet, pow. That's what I'm. That's the way I'm tweeting it. Don't say like, oh, pow, pow. No, like, mm, mm. Just so y'all know, because she out there sniping shit. So we out here. Come on now. And they believe her. They believe her open. I don't understand it. She shoot 50% from three. And you like, you know what? You gonna have to beat us today. Okay. Boom.
Let's say, all right, it's hey, she even gonna make it, she gonna miss it. 50% chance she gonna make it or miss it.
And when you
Even with
got
50% chances on a basketball shot, that's crazy. Give me 30. I live on 30. I'll live on 30%. 30%. Somebody shooting 30% from the three, we'll live. But somebody shoot 50%, I'm stepping up.
you better you shouldn't even have to step up. You shouldn't have been gone. If I'm doing the scout and I tell y'all that Tina Pow Pow is shooting 50% from three and she gets 7, 8 open threes.
Oh yeah, no, that's laps for every open three she damn shoot. No, not even laps. I'm putting 10 seconds on the damn clock every time she for every open three she get. That's 10 seconds. That's another 10
Hey,
seconds. That's another
hey,
10 seconds. Matter of fact, I think they do 8 seconds in college. They probably
y'all,
do eight
y'all
seconds.
keep leaving her open. She gonna keep knocking them motherfuckers down, and I'm gonna keep getting off my.
Be like that one John Morant Jeff where he's like, "Pow, pow, pow." Oh man.
Podcast just turned into, but shout
I
out
don't
to
know what's going on. It's late. But
you. This late.
I don't know. South Carolina got a squad, man, between her, Raven Johnson, Chloe Kitts, Ashton Watkins, Camila Cardozo, and you got the bench, you got Tessa Johnson. I ain't even got my phone to help me either. I ain't even got my phone to help me either. I ain't even got my phone to help me either. Lord,
I know you ain't gonna forget. I know you ain't gonna forget.
oh, Bree Hall. I don't know why how I forgot
Come
Bree
on
Hall.
now. No way you looked it up.
I didn't look it up. No, my
I
phone
have.
was still in the bed.
Okay.
It clicked.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's no way you forgot about Big Breezy.
I know. She one of the OGs on the team.
Do they even have any like OGs? I mean, I guess Camilla's a senior, so
I about to
technically,
say you got Camilla,
she's
but some
so damn
started
young.
at Syracuse,
Can you be that?
huh?
The team is so damn young. Can they even be that?
You're right.
I mean, I guess you. I mean, technically, yeah, but I mean, the only like,
Wait, what year is Breezy?
let me see.
Is this
Last year, because Raven Johnson is a junior, right?
she's
Just
considered a sophomore.
wait.
Mary Jones
Yeah,
got like the second game of her freshman
yeah.
season.
So
So
that
she
was
last year was her true freshman. Well, not
one.
true freshman. Last year counted as her freshman season because she
Yeah.
played a full season, and then this year she's counted as a sophomore. So it's kind of like Angel Reese in a sense.
Angel Reese didn't miss a whole. Oh, yeah,
And
technically.
Angel Reese got her freshman year because
That
Angel
was
Reese is considered a senior now.
yeah.
And she
So
was junior last year.
so technically, Raven is a junior.
Technically,
Like AZ is a junior because they were all the same class. Breezy, AZ, Raven Johnson. Because Raven Johnson was what? I think she was number two.
something
But
like that. She was because she was in the Iverson game,
yeah.
so she had to be like
Um,
how doing that.
and then Breezy's a junior. Sanaya Fagan is a junior, but then you got Chloe Kitts, Ashton Watkins, both sophomores.
Yep.
Uh, Johnson, technically a junior, but he's a sophomore because of um, her injury. Tessa Johnson's a freshman. Sanaya
Yeah.
Johnson. Um, Adele Tack. I don't mean no disrespect. I've never heard that name before,
Same. It's news to
and
me.
I've seen a ton of South Carolina. That's the only player on this roster that I'm looking at, and I'm like, she don't even have a picture. So
Okay.
respectfully. I had to look because she probably is on the bench. We just don't realize that she's on the bench. But there be so many players on the bench that like, or so many people on the bench that you don't know if they're like trainers or coaches or just like walk-ons.
Hmm.
Like it's hard. It's hard to know. But yeah, Breeze is a junior. She's from Ohio. Hmm.
Yeah.
Why did I think she was from South Carolina?
Nah.
Now that I'm looking at it, Dawn was
I don't
talking
think
about.
anybody's from South Carolina on this team.
No, there is. Malaysia's from South Carolina,
Duh. Oh my gosh, I didn't even mention Malaysia. Lord,
and
man,
Ashland and Malaysia are both from. But
I did not mention
Dawn was
Malaysia.
talking about getting, or maybe somebody was talking about getting really good players from South Carolina. They only got two players from South Carolina. Because Raven Johnson's from Georgia.
Yep.
Chloe Kitt's from Florida. Sinai Josh from Florida.
Yeah.
Cardoso's from Brazil. Um, I mean, Tahina's from California, but she's a transfer. Tessa Johnson's from Minnesota. How Minnesota let her get out of there?
Right.
They could use her. Shit. I mean, not saying that Minnesota don't got good players right now because they do, but they could definitely use her on the squad. Um, yeah, I don't know why I thought there was more players from South Carolina on the team, but I think that might have been like the past years that they were like they were talking about. I
Mm,
don't know, but I definitely remember seeing Miles and Asa Watkins like their high school tapes when they were in South Carolina.
gotcha.
For some reason, oh, I'm tripping. Raven Johnson definitely from Georgia because I remember doing a.
Yeah, yeah, she is. Yeah,
I definitely remember doing an article on her freshman season, and
yeah.
she was for sure from Georgia. I'm smoking, and I don't even smoke. It's midnight. That's my excuse. It's midnight. Um, question
What's up?
about because we didn't talk about it on a college episode. We talked about it on the NBA episode because it was happening in real time.
Oh yeah.
Um, Caitlin did break the record. Um, do you think Caitlin Clark needs a championship to solidify her status among the greats?
Um, I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Oh,
I think she has enough gravity as is. Because she's gotten to a championship. She hasn't won, but she's gotten to one. So there's that. And it's like, I don't know, you look at some of the teams, or like you look at some of the players, some of the teams that they had teams full of 5 stars, full of like WNBA players, like WNBA, like future teammates or whatever. Like you look at Stewie played with Stephanie Dolson that went on to be her teammate in the W. Um, Jewel Lloyd and Skylar, they played together at Notre Dame. You got the South Carolina team with Alicia Gray and Aja Wilson. Yeah. You got Enrique who was teamed up with Jackie Young. Only person really out of like the bunch of like the players that haven't really been um on a championship squad in college. I mean, you got KP. KP, she's one of the best college athletes in her time. She set the record for most points in the hey yo for most points in women's college basketball and was #1 pick in her draft class, but she didn't get a championship. Um, and she didn't have any WNBA talent players on her team either. No offense to Iowa, but I mean, like, you look at that team. Like,
I mean,
you take Caitlin off that team.
Technically Zanano did get to the WNBA.
That is a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But I'm talking about this team this year. This team this year. Last year, they did have Monica Zanano. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but oh, I said it right. Look at me. Like I said, wordsmith.
I just said it. How could you say it?
Look at me, wordsmith. Anyways, I mean, yeah, she did get drafted or got picked up by the Sparks and got released before the start of the season. And they made it to the chip last year though. And that was part of her. That was partly because of her. That was the 1-2. Now, I don't know if it's a 1-2. Respectfully.
And Slowkey just dropped 47, bro.
I know. Hannah Stuckey did drop 47. So if you got a night like that, yeah, but that hasn't been a consistent one too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, I mean, I just think Caitlin Clark is, I want to say, I guess you could say an anomaly in this sense. I think people put too much value on winning and not looking at what the player did themselves. Because in college, like you're only in college for 4 years, three to 4 years, right? And you got programs like UConn, you got programs like South Carolina, you got programs like, Tennessee back in the day. You got you just got like mad programs that run things, run the table, run the landscape. And yeah, But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of some of like the college grades, and like when I come to think of a lot of them do have rings. Like Brittany Griner got a ring. Um, whatchamacallit? Candace Parker got a ring. Um, Lisa Leslie got a ring.
But I mean, I would assume it's at least a list.
Yeah, same with Cheryl. Yeah. Um, I'm talking Cheryl Miller here too. When I say Cheryl,
Enrique,
Ricky, like I mentioned, yeah,
Asia, Brianna,
Stewart,
Diana, Sue,
Maya,
Maya, like Tina Charles.
yeah,
I mean, you name all the greats. Championships come along with it. But like you said, there are also other great players next to those names. So
yeah. Like Skylar Diggins, I got a chip.
that's
That's
true.
just the first one that came to mind.
Do
Skylar.
you think
I'm trying to think
Do you think Sabrina would be looked at differently
if she had one.
if they had gotten that one in 2020? Not saying that they would have won it. I'm just saying if they hypothetically,
If that, cause that's the biggest if of all this is that
because
2020.
them, Baylor, South Carolina, all have real.
I think Sabrina's tournament run would have been crazy, and because see they're in the Pac-12. Not a lot of people's watching them respectfully because they're on the West Coast, and
That
no,
year they were. That year they were because she
that
was
year they
breaking.
were, yes, because I remember she was chasing the triple double
Yeah,
record and get more
right.
TV time and whatever, yeah. But as far as like on the regular though, people didn't really know Sabrina until she got to the W for real.
I disagree with that.
I mean, because she had a lot of hype. No, I'm saying she had a lot of hype coming out of college,
They
but then
also took the USA team. They beat the USA team in Oregon that year
yeah,
because her, Satu, and Ruthie. It was mainly her and Satu, but
yeah,
they beat the USA team that summer before this, or like before this, that right before the season started. And that was really when it like took off because it took off that year before because she had a big tournament run,
yeah,
and then that 2020 year she was breaking the records, and then all the Kobe stuff was happening, and
yeah.
then his
Uh, she,
past,
she attended the funeral.
and then once all that, like
But
I
the
want
triple
to say
double.
like his passing happened, and then she broke the record, like not that, like maybe like
She literally attended the funeral,
it was
spoke at the
that
funeral.
night.
Yeah, she attended the funeral, spoke at the funeral, went back to Oregon, played the game, broke the record. Different
So I,
breed, bro.
yeah, so I yeah, so I think she had a big following going in because she had a lot of expectations, but then
I
her
mean,
rookie season, her rookie season was in the bubble, and she got hurt in her third game.
yeah,
That's what threw off some of the hype for her. But WNBA has never stopped with the hype. I just think like some of the media hype, not like media, but like some of the like the social media hype.
yeah, because I feel like they're trying to force it on us a little bit. And when I say force it on us, they're like, just let it happen. Like, yes, we all know Sabrina's gonna be next up. Just let it happen. Like quit trying to like force feed us Sabrina.
But
I said with all
that's
due
sports
respect.
though. That's sports though. They always gonna do that.
Right. That's why, and that's why I feel the way I feel about the people I feel about. I feel like
It's certain people though, not everybody, because they do it to
not
a lot of.
everybody, because not everybody is getting that treatment, bro.
No one pushes their young stars like the NBA does. So you mean to
Yes,
tell
they push their young stars, but at the same time, they're making their young stars like I don't know. They make it so their young stars are all-time greats already. I'm like, relax.
what's that? That?
It's just the way they're talking about them.
Hello.
It's the tone. It's the tone.
The tone.
Yeah.
Now you reading tone. The tone of who?
It
Never
just
mind.
feels like, oh man, like whatever, yada yada.
But anyways, do you think
Anyway,
Sabrina?
back to Caitlin Clark.
Do you think Sabrina would be looked at differently if they won that
I
tournament?
think if Sabrina had a title run or just like a deep run in the 2020 NCAA tournament, yes, she would be looked at much differently. And it would definitely improve her. I mean, not really improve her case. So she was number one pick in the draft, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean,
we went 1, 2, 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, 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 1, 2, 4. I think Kennedy Carter was number
I
three.
said I think Kennedy was top three. Yeah,
Yeah,
had
and
him.
Ruthie
So,
was.
but yeah, no. Um, Sabrina on a legendary tournament run. Like if she would have won a tournament like Caitlyn went on last year in her last season, yeah, I think people would hold her in higher regards.
Because Kennedy Carter went on a run in 2019 too.
Yeah.
That shit was wild. Like if you go back and look at some of the shots she was hitting in those tournament games, like Kennedy Carter was doing some what like, and this was what right? This was
Because didn't they beat the USA team too? Or did she like show out in the game against
yeah,
Team USA? Yeah.
so because I remember Diana Taurasi. They're like, y'all keep talking about Sabrina, but I think Kennedy Carter is the next one. Like
Yeah.
Diana, like she was adamant. Like Sue Bird was like, yeah, I like Sabrina. She was like, everybody, that's the easy answer. Everybody likes Sabrina. I like Kennedy Carter. And I was like, I'm not mad at that. I
Yeah.
was a huge fan of Kennedy Carter coming into the draft. And hopefully her coming back this
Right.
season.
She got
She's
a
like,
little she got a
so,
what training camp did with Sky.
yeah, I'm ready to
Perfect
see her
opportunity for him.
because
Perfect opportunity for
that that that's what you need to do tonight. I don't know if you've seen like her highlights from that March Madness run.
Yeah.
Electric, bro. Like, and this was what Enrique and them won in 2018, or was it 19 that they won? It was 19 because Jackie Young was
2019.
big.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was that same run. Like it was like Enrique and Kennedy Carter were just some. The shot making was crazy. Sabrina was also going on her run at the same time. It was. I'm telling you, like Kevin's been saying it for a while, but like March Madness is taken off the last couple of years, like ratings wise, but since like 20 what 17 2018 it's been
Yeah.
wild like 2016 2017 like
The women's
UConn
show.
ran through but
Very.
or 2016 UConn ran through
Mhm.
but once South Carolina got that thing
Yeah.
everything after that
Yeah.
it was
Everybody come on.
madness after that
But yeah,
not
point is,
somebody was winning because Baylor had got some in there or Baylor got one in there 40-0 so like it wasn't just them, but there was a lot that oof, I want to look at it right now because she was going ahead of us.
yeah, no. To answer the question though, I think Caitlin Clark with her ring would shut up a lot of people. Because there are some doubters out there about Caitlin, which
Yes, there is.
stupid. Down Caitlin damn Clark, man, you need to sit your ass down. Let me stop. See, I went all show without cussing, and I just cuss this now. Bad.
Yeah, I
But
gotta do for that.
um, yeah, no, I don't think Caitlyn necessarily needs a ring. I think a ring helps her case, obviously, but I just don't think it's like, oh, she need a ring, she need a ring. Like, no, it's college, bro. And like, I don't know,
So where
she's
where do
dominant.
you have her? Where do you have her in terms of greatest players in college all time?
I really gotta sit down and revisit this list again because
Do you
I know
think
we
like
talked
do you
about it
think
last week. I mean,
five,
we talked about it
10?
last year around this time, and the runs that she went on. But I really gotta sit down and think and go through and realize where does this rank amongst like the guards like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi and players like Maya Moore who won 100 games straight, and players like Skylar Diggins, Candace Parker, Kelsey Plum. I'm just naming random players, not even her position. That's the Candace Parker. Um, you got Sabrina, Rike, um, I know there's probably plenty more that I'm missing or overlooking. Jewel. Yeah, as far as college resume,
When you go back and look at like these past championship teams, they've had multiple like WNBA players. Like that Notre Dame's 2019 team, I'm pretty sure their whole starting lineup made it to the WNBA. You had yeah, their whole and they like played like actual like they've actually been in the league for a couple of years. You had Marina, Jackie,
yeah,
Enrique,
yeah,
Bree Turner,
yeah,
and Jeff Pepper.
yeah,
That's five players that have all like they're all still in the league.
yeah.
Where how many other
Getting
teams
minutes
say
too, starting. They all start on all the teams that they play on.
how many other teams can say that? Like Baylor had Odyssey Sims
Yeah,
and Brittany Griner.
yeah.
Notre Dame had
Odyssey Sims was a killer in college, bro.
oh my goodness, she was tough.
Odyssey Sims was one of my favorite players in college. I just that just unlocked the memory for some reason, dog.
She was
She was
so
tough.
Shoni Schimmel.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
Louisville.
that's a lot to memory right there, bro.
Louisville was nice, boy. Uh,
Boy,
what's her sister's name? Jude. Is it Jude Schimmel?
I
I
don't
think.
know. But they were twins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shoni, that All Star game where she got the
Tony
MVP,
like,
that was
hey,
wild.
she light things up.
Yeah, man, watch it. I remember Leticia Romero at Florida State in the March Madness. Like, it's so many players that just had like just some signature games in March Madness. Like, they didn't win a championship,
Mhm.
but like you can remember them just from certain like games that they had. This is wild. Yeah, Kennedy Carter was going crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't think Caitlyn needs a chip necessarily. What do you think?
Um, I'm on both sides of it, just because it's hard to say like, oh, well, these players got them. Those players also had like Brianna Stewart had like Kia Nurse, Gabby
Oh,
Williams,
like, come on. Coached by
like
Geno and
Mo Jeff, like
come on, dog.
like like Bria Hartley, like
They won 100 games.
she like she has
Like, what
some
are you talking about?
squad.
They won 100 games. That's a 3-year, 4-year win streak, bro. Like,
That's not to discredit them at
and she
all.
won four straight. Like, come on, bro. Like,
It's not to discredit them. It's just like when you talk about Caitlyn and her accolades, you have to put in the fact that she chose Iowa.
yeah, she could have went anywhere in the damn country.
And let's be honest, like she didn't have a huge name. Like she had a pretty good like people knew about her, but she didn't have a huge name coming into college.
No.
And she went to Iowa and turned Iowa into a household name.
Yeah.
Like it's not a lot of people that have done that. Like she turned Iowa into a household name, she turned them into a Sweet 16 team, into a national championship runner up team, and now this year possibly a number one seed. Um, like she's done some unreal things at that school, and I think if you would have asked people when she went there her freshman season, like, oh, do you see her doing this, this, and this? They'd be like, hell no. And now you look back, she's done all this stuff, and she still has a chance to make another run. And the thing about players like this is she's gonna play teams that are more talented, but how many teams and how many players can match what she brings? If she plays at her best, like
Hmm.
like she did last season when she was dropping 30s and 40s in the tournament,
Yeah.
can you withstand that?
Yeah.
The only like let's be real, the only reason LSU was able to withstand that is because Jasmine Carson went crazy in the first half.
And didn't miss a shot.
Like if Jasmine Carson doesn't go crazy in the first half, Iowa might be a national. Like she might already have one under her belt,
She missed maybe three of them shots that she took. Yeah.
and like she beat an insane South Carolina team. Granted, there
By
was a lot.
herself, basically. I watched that and I was in awe. I was like, bro, what?
Like
Like,
granted, there was a lot that
hey,
came
they
with
got
it.
some of the best defenders in the country on that team. Like, how they're not able to stop her? What is going on?
There was a lot that came with it. It's not just like oh they just they beat them and it was just like there was a lot that came with. There's a lot of physicality. There's a lot of missed calls. There's a lot of
Yeah,
there's a
yeah. You know the way
but
they appreciated
nevertheless
people.
she won that game and it's just like okay you know I do think she needs another run. She doesn't necessarily have to win a championship, but she's got to get to at least like a Final Four to
Another
like
one would help her out
to
to
really solidify that.
far as talks go. I mean, but I know one thing for sure, two things for
Because if
sure.
she losing like the
Good
round of
time.
32,
And I know the way I'll talk about Caitlin Clark after she's done in her collegiate career. And I know the standard I'm gonna hold her to, but I know other people might not hold her as such if she doesn't win a ring, you know? I mean, but that kind of talk is coming from other people that aren't really in the W space, you know? Like I thought I seen, I think it was Stephen A that said, "Oh, she needs a ring."
oh, I
It
don't.
was, it was either
He
Stephen
said
or,
he's already the greatest. So I'm like, yeah, I can't.
you said who?
He says she's already the greatest.
Uh,
He's like,
it
she's
must have
already
been
the greatest collegiate player.
it was somebody that doesn't really it's that's not really in the W space. But it's like,
Oh, was it Jay Williams?
was it?
On college game day, he said she wasn't great yet because she doesn't have a ring. He's like, Brandon Stewart won championships. Maya Moore won championships. I'm like, yeah, but you can't really use that argument against her. Like,
People talk highly about Jay Williams, but like, yo, wait,
yeah,
did they win the championship?
I don't know. I guess if
They
you put
might, they
if you
might.
put if you put Caitlin Clark on those teams that won championships, they still win the championship.
Bro, yeah, like
Like it's not like I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. There'll be a time.
you
It's
put Kalen Clark on any one of the top 10 teams in the nation right now, they're a championship contender.
well, if they're already that don't make sense.
All right, you put Kalen Clark on any one of the top 25 teams in the
Like
nation.
if see, like
What's the 25th team in the nation right now? It's like
25th, like Princeton or something.
put
Oh. Like
Kalen Clark on Princeton, they got a chance.
Caitlin Clark on Princeton would be actually kind of tough
They
because
got a chance.
Her and Caitlin Chin would be so nice.
Ooh.
In that Saint, oh man, that would be so tough. But
But you
we'll talk
put on a
about.
team like Duke. You put Kalen Clark on a team like Duke, bro.
Oh, they all play defense and they can all get buckets too.
Come on, bro. That's yeah, That's a championship squad.
I
She's
mean,
elevated the game that much,
yeah. I mean,
and she gets her teammates better. Like she opens up opportunities for her teammates. I remember last year she was scoring or assisting on every single bucket that they got.
you know what would have been interesting?
What's up?
It's a hypothetical. If she would have transferred last year and she'd have went to Stanford, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, Haley Van Lith might go to Stanford." What if Caitlin Clark went to Stanford? Would be no questions about their guard play. Because how are you stopping her, Cameron
Run
Brink,
them
and
the chip. If that happens, run them the chip, bro. Bro, you know how I think? You know, I think it'd be cool or be crazy. You know how they coming out with a college football game, right? If they come out with a college basketball game, they gonna have to include the women.
absolutely
Crazy things
they
that
gonna
I
be able to cover. The fuck you mean? They
exactly
gonna be able
the
to cover.
crazy things that I would do. I would transfer Juju Walkers to USC. I mean, not USC to SC. I would transfer Juju Walkers to SC, bro.
You can't trade in college.
Says who? I'm gonna control the game,
How do you trade in college?
bro. Right NIL package, bro. Transfer money talks.
Oh, you're making a transfer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm throwing a bag at everybody.
Yeah, about to say right NIL money
Yeah,
talks.
bag at Tahina. I'm throwing a
You have to
bag
put
at
that Nike swoosh up for
everybody.
the next 3 years,
Our team gonna be stacked. It's gonna look like the high school All American team.
or 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 Juju and damn UConn. Juju and Page together. Good
Paige,
lord.
Izzy, and Juju.
Good lord. Good luck, Charlie.
Shoo. She wouldn't fit in though.
Nah, you know what I would really do?
Like,
I transfer
know,
everybody. Listen, you know what I would really do? I transfer everybody to CMC. Like
nah, here he go.
CMC get a national championship, David. That's just the type of things I would do if they had a college
Everybody's Lander University, man.
D2 school to win March Madness.
We all going D2. We gonna be on ESPN and shit because we that nice.
They got to bump you up to
But
D1 after
they've
that.
won 85 straight games.
I can't wait for college football to come
We get
out.
Lauren Best on the squad, and then 2 years later we bring in Sienna, and they running. Got the Twin Tower sisters just killing shit. Atlanta, come on now, Greenwood, South Carolina, stand up. They gonna block a shot.
Oh no, what's the girl that played at Francis Marion, bro? What's her name, bro? Oh my gosh, we gotta shout her out. We gotta shout her out. They're gonna play at Francis Marion. She has the all-time record
Oh, I know you're talking about.
points. She dropped like 4,000 career points at
Yeah,
Francis Marion.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of her
Gotta
name.
go get my phone.
I apologize. I cannot remember her name. I should have wrote it down, honestly.
Facts.
Bro, Kennedy was really going crazy. Like, y'all watching
Earl
this?
Moore is her name.
Type in Kennedy Carter March Madness highlights. Just go watch. She was going crazy.
So shout out to Francis Marion. They got a pair of players that have made history. You got Lauren Taylor of Francis Marion set the NCAA single game record, rebounds record with 44.
Damn. Oh, is that the one that had 30 or 40?
Yes.
I did see that. Oh my lord, golly.
Yeah. And then you got Pearl Moore, right? Which in the screen grab, Holly's in the student section at the South Carolina game, and someone did like the little Snapchat thing, like when you try to get the DJ to request a song or get the DJ to play a song or whatever. She said, "What about Pearl Moore?" Pearl Moore scored 4,061 points while playing at Francis Marion in her collegiate career.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That's what you call a bucket.
Oh, she scored. All right, never mind. She scored 4,061 points in her collegiate career. By Francis Marion, she scored 3,884.
Mm.
But yeah, and that's D2 though. But that's still great.
Yeah.
My thing is that she D2. Why she ain't never get the D1 call? Oh no.
Oh, had Kennedy or had Jackie jumping for joy. Um, let's see. We had some other games happen this past week. Madison Booker. Oh my god, a problem. 18 points, 10 assists against Iowa State. Um, Elizabeth Kitley had a dominant week. She had 34 and 12 versus Duke, 26 and 13 versus Louisville. And Georgia Amore said on Haley Jones' podcast, called Sometimes I Hoop. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. Where she was saying that Elizabeth Kitley can do practically anything, and people just be like, "Oh, well, that's Liz Kitley," so we don't even really talk about it. And I was like, "That's low key facts," because I'll be putting her numbers into my notes. And I'll be like, "Yeah, she did this," and then we just breeze on past it because it's just so we're just so used to it. And we expect it. Like when we don't see it, then we're like, all right, what's going on with Virginia Tech? But when she does, we're just like, yep, that's what we expect. So shout out Liz Kitty because when she's on and she's hitting that midi, ain't nothing you could do. NC State beat Notre Dame on the road. One of our previews from last week. They got out to a 19-7 first quarter lead and really just held off from there. Syracuse got a wire-to-wire win over Miami. Georgia Woolley had 24 points, 3 steals. Peyton Verhulst is playing really well. They did have a close loss to West Virginia on the road. But she's averaging over 20 in her last 3 games, so she's playing really well. But yeah, that was about it that I had. We do have some good games coming up this week though. Let's see. Because it was hard to choose which games I wanted to preview just because of how many games had some meaning. So let's see. Wednesday, we got West Virginia at Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas at Baylor. 2 good games. Let's see. Thursday, got Ohio State at Penn State. Alabama at South Carolina. Duke at Syracuse. NC State going to North Carolina. Utah at UCLA on ESPN. Auburn and LSU rematch because Auburn beat LSU earlier this year. Friday, we got Colorado going to USC. Oregon State plays Washington State. Saturday, we got Villanova Creighton. Baylor going to West Virginia. Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. That's really just a rivalry game more than anything. Princeton versus Columbia. Well, they're 5-21, so I'm not gonna say that. LSU Tennessee on Sunday is a good one. Maryland, Ohio State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech. And then we got Utah going to play USC. I think it's funny that all these games on Sundays are all like 12, 1, 2. And then the last game or the last like major game of the day is at like 5:30. So then like it's just no more games after that. Y'all can spread them out a little bit. And then Monday night, we got Colorado against UCLA on ESPN2. And it's not a 10 o'clock game, it's a 9 o'clock game. So y'all can still stay up and watch the game. But yeah, that's about it. Let me see if there's anything that I missed. USC, Missouri. Oh, Brittany Griner got her number retired.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, Sersky.
Shout out to Baylor.
Past weekend, BG.
Shout out to Baylor. Shout out to Nikki Collin. And first and foremost, shout out Brittany Griner, man. Just she really put Baylor on the map. I don't care what nobody says. Like before she got there, nobody was really like Baylor wasn't a household name. Like Kim Mulkey was doing her thing, sure, but like she brought a lot to that school. Or at least at the very least brought it back to the school. Like, and I just think it's crazy that you know Kim Mulkey is treated her the way she has.
Wow.
But we're not gonna make this about her. But definitely want to shout out Brittany Griner. She deserves to have her number retired. She deserves for people to know what she brought to that school, and to that team. Like they got one in the early 2000s, but that 2012 team, I mean, to go 40-0 and win a national championship, like that's so hard to do.
Yeah.
Uh, and she just she deserved to feel that recognition and to feel that appreciation from the crowd and from that state, from that city, from that school. So kudos to um, Nikki Collins and to Baylor for doing what was right, what should have been done a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, that was all that I could see. Uh,
Yeah, we'll be back later on this week. Got a preview for y'all on Thursday. Um, got NBA episode for y'all later on this week. Yeah, you know what it is. You know what's happening, man. It's the H&H show, Hoodie and Headband podcast. I'm Bryce. That's Tariq. We'll catch y'all later on this week.
Appreciate y'all.